Hello, and thank you for joining us on this Friday, January 16th. I'm Miranda Anthesel, and here is a look at your national and international headlines. Canada and China coming to a landmark deal that will provide relief to our country's farmers. Joining us now is Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe, who is in China with the Prime Minister and who has seen his province hit particularly hard by punishing canola tariffs. Premier, thanks so much for joining us today after what has been a very busy morning and day for you.
Well, thank you, Miranda.
All right, so walk us through this deal, which is slashing canola tariffs from 85% down to 15%. How much relief is this going to provide to the canola industry?
This is very significant. It is going to literally allow billions of dollars of agricultural products of all kinds, whether it's canola, pulse crops, seafood, to flow again, which it was not moving in any way to our second largest trading partner in the world. So this is a absolute deal of tremendous significance to not only the Canadian agriculture industry, but to the Canadian economy more generally. And in addition, there's the reduction of the meal tariffs, and as I said, the peas and seafood tariffs down to zero. So very, very significant deal brought about by the engagement of our federal government, partnering with industry, and I think a significant deal with the opportunities that we now have to move forward with additional exports into China as well. So a good day for Canadians.
Absolutely, a huge step forward. So Premier, you have been on this trip in Beijing with the Prime Minister. Take us into the room with you. What exactly were these talks like? What was the tone?
Very positive. In fact, I've been waiting for years to see a positive tone like what I saw the last couple of days here in Beijing. And so again, credit to the efforts that were made by Cody Blois, for example, the ministers. There was a contingent of, I think, 6 ministers here, and that really does matter in this market. And then, of course, Prime Minister Carney engaging at all 3 significant levels, including with President Xi. So a very, very significant day for the Canadian economy and a great day for Canadians as well.
All right, so having Prime Minister Mark Carney at the helm for these talks, what was that like? How was he during these discussions?
Incredibly positive, and I think added to the tone that, quite honestly, Saskatchewan has been in this market engaging for 15 years. The last number of years have been very challenging, of which has been well documented by your station and others. But that has taken a turn the last number of months, and I saw significant changes for the better in the tone, in the conversations, in the relationship more broadly, which is very collaborative since last September when Cody Blois and I were here, the parliamentary secretary to the Prime Minister and I were here to really kickstart and try to breathe some ambition into these talks and ultimately into this relationship. So happy to see it come to fruition. And I think the big thing for us to remember now is not only does this restore trade that was existing, but it definitely provides a very foundation for us to build additional trade opportunities with not only a country like China, but many Asian countries in the area. So significant Canadian delegation here today, led by the Prime Minister with good results. So a good day.
All right, and Premier, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the tensions that we've had between our two countries. As a delegation, how do you go about negotiating with China when there are legitimate security concerns with that country? I mean, how cautious do you have to be here?
You do need to be cautious, but you also need to understand that if you are going to be able to trade and trade moving forward, that you're going to have differences. I have differences with friends of mine. We have differences between provinces. It doesn't mean that we don't work and move forward where we can and where we can find commonality and where we can find agreement. The same holds true for trading with a country like China. Is we are going to have differences. We're going to have to respect many of those differences. And then engage when it comes to advancing our two economies in the betterment of the citizens that we ultimately represent. And in our case, that's Canadian citizens, and mine more specifically are largely in the ag industry, but also I would say the energy and the mining sector as well in Saskatchewan, which today's agreement impacts all of those industries, if not today, certainly in the days ahead, in a positive way.
Now, Premier, before we let you go here, you mentioned differences between provinces. Your colleague, Ontario Premier Doug Ford, was against alleviating EV tariffs in order to provide relief to the canola industry. Have you had any discussions with him throughout this process?
I've talked to Doug from time to time and always will continue to. And Doug does an excellent job in representing everyone in Ontario. And I have all the time in the world and a lot of respect for the leadership that Premier Ford provides. Doug to me, but certainly Premier Ford provides. The tariffs are still in place. And certainly I think there is a conversation, and I'd be happy to work with Premier Ford and with Ontarians to ensure that the benefits of the trade deal that came to fruition today will be felt by those that live in Ontario and those that are in the Ontario or in the auto sector in Ontario in the not only the days ahead but the months and years ahead. This is a time for us to pull together as Canadians and to utilize these agreements to the best interests of all of the people, regardless of the industry or regardless of the province they live.
All right, that is Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe joining us from Beijing. Premier, thanks so much for your time today.